Welcome back to a new video. So we are currently in last place, but weirdly, all three of these teams are pretty close to each other. We're obviously a lot of games out from the division lead, but we're right about 500, and that's, I didn't necessarily set that as a goal for this year, but certainly performing better. Honestly, I thought we would be really bad. So the fact that we are just not the worst team in the league is a tremendous improvement. So we'll just continue to push forward a little bit and see how far we can get in simulation. So we're past the trade deadline. There wasn't any big trades or any trades that we made during that time. And we're just kind of flip-flopping between these teams to be, between 5th and 3rd place. If we don't finish in last place in the division, that's already a tremendous improvement in general. But finishing around 500 and not being in last, it's kind of really nice. So we're certainly a competitive team this year for the most part, especially because we have Manzardo. He's already over 100 RBIs, which is kind of insane. So he's certainly playing really well. It's funny that Juan Soto's on Cleveland and they are just barely above us. So it just kind of shows how little of an impact one player like that has. All right, so we're going to look at the roster expansion. We're going to drop down here. I don't think there's any pitchers that are pitching particularly great. So we can look here at the lineups and we can add these two guys. He was already up and he didn't play well at the major league level. So we'll go ahead and give these guys an opportunity up there, up in Chicago, and see if there's anyone on the waiver wire that's interesting. Tis not interesting. All right, so we're good here and we can push forward, and looks like we're going to slowly drop off and finish below 500, or at least there's a chance that we do that. All right, I'm going to keep pushing forward, and we'll see the random retirements. It looks like we're starting to lose some games, which, I mean, I thought this would happen throughout the year, so the fact that it hasn't yet is, it's like these guys hit 27 and all want to retire. Nobody wants to play past their age of 27. That guy wasn't very old. That was one of our top prospects. It's funny how that happens sometimes. You'll just have a guy that's like actually like a decent prospect that will retire. And then like guys like this make sense. They're 27, 28 in AAA. So it doesn't like really matter if they retire or not. But sometimes you have like an actual good prospect that just randomly retires and they're like 22 years old or something, which is kind of obnoxious because it's not really realistic. Are we not out of the wild card race? I guess we're only 6 games back, but I mean, obviously we're not going to make the playoffs. It would be actually hilarious if we somehow did, but yeah, we're definitely close to being eliminated. Let's see how far back we are. Yeah, 7. Now we are eliminated. All right, so we just got eliminated. Darn. Really thought we had a chance at the playoffs, but it's kind of a cool thought, to even be like contemplating that this late in the season. But 82 losses, so we'll finish, unless we win the last 8 games, finish under 500. Decent. Yeah, just under 500. It looks like we're going to be close to 90 losses. Or no, would we finish at 85? Nice. So we improved by quite a bit. So we can look at the waiver wire, see if there's anyone that's interesting here. Not really. All right. Not bad, though. I'm pleasantly surprised with how many wins that we were able to actually get up. So the hopefully, as the players continue to develop, Manzardo's absolutely popped off. So that will be a kind of a major piece to our development of our team. But we'll get through the playoffs, and then we'll look at the statistics for the year, and then probably be it for this video. So got through the first season, really exceeded expectations by a lot. Manzardo is absolutely going to be a star for us. It looks like led the AL in RBIs. He might have led the whole league in RBIs. We'll have to see here in a second. Oh no, Bryce Harper, 130 RBIs. My goodness. And the Braves ended up winning the World Series in this first season. The Twins actually made it in, which is interesting. So we're going to look here at the waiver wire, see if there's anyone interesting that's there. This guy's interesting. So go ahead and claim. And $1 million, or no, this guy's the league minimum. And so we'll look down to see if there's anyone that's particularly young. That's good. Looks like they're AR, but they're 2 stars, so we're not worried about them. And the facilities are open. Arbitration is open. There we go. Okay, so let's look at arbitration really quick, and then we'll look at statistics. So we'll keep Lucas Gill. Our pitching honestly was like a lot better than I thought it was going to be as well. We have a lot of guys that are going to be coming up. He had a 5 ERA, so we can let him walk and let this guy walk as well, even though they were decent. Vaughn here, 245 batting average, 18 home runs in 130 games. For $7 million, we can find someone cheaper that can do what he did. So we're not worried about keeping that guy. Let's look at these trades really quick. No, I don't want these old people. Although, if I'm already going to let Juan or Andrew Vaughn walk, we might as well make this trade. All right, so they wanted Vaughn. No, that works for us. So we're actually able to trade Vaughn and get potentially, his good contact and stuff. So not the worst player that we could have got, especially because we were going to let him leave anyway. Statistics. So let's look at those. So we'll look at pitching first. And so our team ERA, or starters ERA, was actually really good. Our worst, we had 2 guys, 6-11, 6-10, but their ERAs were pretty decent. Under 5 is really good for us. And then we had a couple guys under 4 with decent win-loss. And then our closer was pretty horrendous. 4.5 ERAs, pretty bad. Still at 37 saves, but yeah, the bullpen is pretty bad. But the starters, let's see with the bullpen. 13th in the AL. I think this is how it goes with the AL. So the ERA for the bullpen, not good. No bueno. So hopefully some of these guys will develop a little bit, and then we'll be able to bump them up. But either way, we'll be able to adjust things with that. And then we'll look at our lineups to see how our team did statistic-wise. This guy wasn't on our team, which it's funny because it shows us, still shows us with him leading our team in ERA, which is fine. Looks like Ben Rice ended up better than Egder. He didn't have any hits and only 1 plate appearance. He played in 3 games. We'll just let the AI figure out our rosters for our lineup right now, so we're not getting slowed down with that. But Colson ended up with 31 home runs, which is kind of crazy. So let's sort by home runs. Manzardo had 38, 120 ribbies. Colson had 31 home runs with 74 RBIs. And Luis had 26 home runs, which is interesting. Only a 2.26 ERA, batting average. And then John Kinsey Noel had less at bats than Luis, but still had 18 home runs. And this Jacob guy had 15. So we had some decent power. Certainly something to build off of, which is interesting. Especially, Manzardo, what's he at now? 3.5 stars. Colson's up at 4 stars. So we have the pieces to build upon, which is exciting. John Kinsey might be, a good first baseman for us at 2.5 stars. He has good defense. He has the potential to play other positions. Manzardo right now only plays first base, so he'll most likely be our first base or DH. Colson looks like he can play shortstop a little bit, but we do have Angel Martinez that can play. He's a utility guy that can play all over the place. Still really young. Had 11 home runs, which is pretty good for him. Quan kind of played well for what you expect of him, so not too disappointed with that. He played. I forgot. I was why was he in Columbus? And that's because of rehab. But I'm honestly really happy with how our team looked and how we performed. So we'll move forward one more time. It's got our development focus here. So I actually want to look. Let's see if there's anyone like Kai Bush. I'm not worried about him. I want to get some guys that will have the potential to learn a new position. So we'll throw him in. Learn a new position, because if he can learn an outfield position or something, that would be really nice. Not worried about Colson being in there. He can play third base as well. If he can learn to play outfield, that also helps us out tremendously. So look here, So that's like the people I usually take off are, 2-star potential. So I'm not worried about them doing anything. So learn a new position. And let's see, Quan, he can play all the outfield. He's left-handed, so obviously he's not gonna, he could learn first base probably, but who can't learn first base? And then he's got some outfield potential, left and right field and third base. So that part I'm okay with. And let's see, Luis, he can only play center field right now. So what we want to do is we can look down here. Let's see. We got some good players that they're working on. All right, we can take Seth out. And then Luis, we can hit learn new position. Of course, he'll probably make it first base or something pointless for me. Let's see, Ahmed, good utility guy. It's nice to have these guys like this that you can kind of plug around. Just the flexibility is just really nice with that. So we'll read important messages. And then I think that'll really be about it for this one. So we'll go forward 1 week. We got that guy, and we'll throw him on our roster. We got to get rid of someone. Who are we going to get rid of? We'll probably just get rid of this guy. Wave and designate for assignments and throw him on the main roster. So that's going to be it for this one. 7 videos of work done, and we're through the first season into the next off season. In the next video, we'll be continuing to work through the off season, seeing if we can improve the roster overall. Particularly what we need to improve is our bullpen. See if he goes to AAA. Yep. Improve our bullpen overall. Our hitting was actually pretty decent. Even though it says our average was low, we had some good power. See our home runs, we were 7th in that. Our starters ERA, I feel like they overperformed a bit. So we have a lot of potential, a lot of things to be building upon for next year, so which is kind of exciting. The goal next year potentially is to get above 500. Definitely probably not making the playoffs, but there is that potential, seeing how much we improved. And that will be the last thing we'll look at. Let's look at the history here, manager history. So it doesn't show our first season, but we had 121 losses. So right here, definitely pretty decent. We can get the average up a little bit. That would be good. But yeah, quite happy with the progress in the first season. Definitely probably one of my better starts doing one of these rebuilds with the White Sox. So excited with that. I think we already looked at arbitration. Yep. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. If you made it to this point or saw any of my videos, I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. But I'll talk to you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.